Hello, everybody. Good morning or good afternoon, wherever you happen to be. I am Carol Copeland Thomas, really super excited to be with you as we talk about our upcoming US UK Summit on Race event that's taking place this coming Friday, February 7th, in different time zones 11 a.m. In the United States, 8 a.m. in the Central Time Zone, 10 a.m. in the Central Time Zone, and 4 p.m. if you are in the United Kingdom, or if you're 1600 GMT or 4 p.m. GMT. You'll see the flyer down below with more information. But I want to introduce my wonderful team members. I've been working with them now for a number of years since the anniversary of George Floyd when he was tragically murdered in 2020. We started the US UK Summit on Race. We pay attention to issues related to race, whether it's economic issues, whether it's housing, education, healthcare, and we have had a number of summit events honoring Black History Month in the United Kingdom. And now here in February, Black History Month honoring Black History Month in the United States that was started by Dr. Carter G. Woodson. I'm going to turn it over to my buddy in Liverpool, England, Garth Dallas. Tell us more about yourself and why this program is so important now.
Thank you very much, Carol. I'm Garth Dallas here in Liverpool, England, and I'm so excited about the various summits that we have done since 2021. As Carol mentioned, we have looked at all sorts of issues, with race being the center of everything that we have been discussing. We engage in open dialogue around how race continues to shape our societies and what must be done to build a more just and inclusive future. I'm so glad that my honorary friend Carol mentioned that Black History Month in the US, because notwithstanding all the drive to get rid of names like Black History Month, we are holding on to that, and Black History Month in the US is quite important because here in the UK we have Black History Month in October, but it's because of the Black History Month in the US why Black History Month in the UK came to be. So I'm really, really looking forward to this new iteration of our dialogue around race. Cannot wait for it.
Awesome, awesome, Garth. We have so much to talk about. And here in the United States, the news is changing every single day. Oh my goodness. We could have several summits in a row just based on the political climate, the geopolitical climate that is impacting not just the US, but now impacting Canada, Mexico, Panama, just an outrageous number of countries who are our friends who are now caught up and sucked up in this administration and the havoc that they're wreaking. Bill Wells, tell us about yourself and tell us why this summit is going to be so important.
Well, okay. Good morning to you, Carol, and Garth. Good afternoon to you. And to all the folks that are listening in. Garth, as Carol mentioned, DEI, which is actually an acronym. It stands for Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion. However, as we are now, and it has largely been focused around race to a certain extent. Large extent, actually. Gender has also been a key component of that. But those of us who are practitioners know that it's more than just an acronym. It's a significant construct that a lot of organizations use in order to bring about the best and greatest talent that's available. That's the diversity component, the people side. The performance side, which is the inclusion piece. It's all about the culture, the corporate culture. Is it engaging? Do people have a sense of belonging? And then equity is all about, making sure that we've got a level playing field. So anyway, today's discussion will take us beyond race. Race, again, is a central core of our series that we've had, but we also have been evolving our focus around what does race really have to do with it in terms of the total scheme of things. So I'm looking forward to a robust discussion. We've got a couple of really top-notch speakers that are going to be joining us this morning. They have very different backgrounds, academia and also corporate. I'm just looking forward to engaging them in this unique and different conversation. It's a different time, different place, and the whole circumstance is really raging right now. So thank you, Carol, for being allowing me to be a part of this.
Absolutely. Well, you are very much a part of it, and we want to remind everybody the event will take place on various platforms this Friday, February 7th. We're doing this little promotional tease right now. So whether you are on Facebook or LinkedIn or YouTube or Zoom, you will have an opportunity at the same time to hear and learn about these wonderful speakers and the issues that just don't affect the United States. They affect the UK and other parts of the world. Garth, can you tell us about Professor William Les Henry, who is one of our speakers for the event?
Wow, Professor Les, as I'd like to call him, his full name is William Henry. He is an esteemed professor based in London, in the UK. Good friend of mine. I've worked with him over the years. He just finished his career as an academic professor, and he now runs his own company, PWH Consultancy Services, where he will be taking his many, many years of lecturing in areas around criminology, sociology, and social anthropology and Black history right across the UK and across the world. He has authored several journals and articles and books and chapters and written exclusively around many concerns of the African and Black diaspora in the UK and beyond. He has featured on numerous documentaries across the UK and worldwide, current affairs television, and we're really, really pleased to have him grace our platform, the US UK Summit honorary, and he will bring a perspective which not just looks at the situation in the UK, but also in Africa, and we know that will pretty much complement what our main US speaker will be bringing to the summit. I hand over now to a good friend, Bill, to speak about the US speaker.
Take it away, Bill. Tell us about
Okay.
Dr. Katherine Johnson Coleman.
Okay. First and foremost, a very, very dear friend of mine, colleague. We are both DEI practitioners. However, Katherine's background is a unique blend of steeped also in the academia side. She's been at the higher education level in a major university here in the United States, leading up and creating a DEI platform for the business school. Subsequent to that, she's had experience most recently with several major I'd say almost Fortune 100 companies. One of the companies in particular that she's got extensive experience, it's a global organization. So, I think oftentimes of me having conversations and calling my good friend Katherine, and only to get her get a message back saying, "I'll call you back. I'm just getting off the plane. I'm in Tokyo," or something like that. So the reason I mention that is she has traveled the world for major corporations seeking the best and brightest talent. So she's pretty clear about DEI and what it means individually, the D, the E, and the I. And because it varies by country, it varies by nationality, it varies by the borders. So she's bringing into this conversation a very, very open-ended, very comprehensive exposure to what DEI means worldwide. And certainly she's got a lot of experience here in the U.S. I should mention also, she also recently has got her own dialogue series that goes. She's got a podcast that she's put together, and we'll talk more about that. And she's had a number of keynote speakers, some of the authors on the books that are behind me. She's had them as guests exploring this whole issue around race and DEI. So it's going to be an interesting conversation. So thank you, Carol, for allowing me to bring a key resource into this discussion.
It's going to be an amazing event with our two speakers, Professor Les and Dr. Coleman. You want to invite your friends, invite your family members to come, unless you have had your head in the sand. You know what's going on in the United States with this current administration. I'm concerned not just for my livelihood, for the livelihood of Bill and certainly Garth, but also for my relatives who are in the federal government, who have been getting these letters telling them to either pretty much conform or to step away from their jobs of decades in some instances. Friends of mine who are in USAID who are now impacted by what's taking place. So this is going to be a really important conversation that we want to have with you worldwide on Friday at 11 a.m. Eastern, and you can subtract or add based on the time zone that you're in. And we have really strong, wonderful guests who are watching and listening now. We have Shakia Bailey, and she says, thank you all for sharing. We appreciate this, amen. And she has a lot of emojis. We thank you so much. And she has also thanked me for what I'm doing. This is her other comment that she has put in Facebook, and she says, thank you, Miss Carol, love what you're doing. We're doing this so that we can inform individuals what's taking place. So we'll have chats open on all 4 platforms, on Zoom, Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn. Will be able to bring your comments in. Please spread the word. Let people know what's taking place. And in closing, maybe a sentence or less, Garth, tell us closing thoughts about why this matters so much.
It matters because race is at the center of everything that is happening across the world at the moment. And I am unapologetic about making that particular statement. There are many similarities, there are many differences, but we're all humans, and I really want to invite everyone to come into our living room and share with us. It's not just about our speakers, it's about yourselves coming in and participating so we can learn from each other. With all the problems that's going on, we have to have self-love. We have to look after each other, and we need safe spaces where we know that regardless of what may be happening geopolitically, we're human and we need to look after each other. So look forward to seeing you all on Friday. That's why this is so important.
You just took the words out of my mouth in terms of self-care, taking care of ourselves and certainly taking care of our community. Well said, Garth Dallas. Thank you so much. Bill Wells.
Well, I'm going to hijack the phrase that I heard recently from Hakeem Jeffries, who's the leader of the minority leader of the House here in the U.S. in the political side. And he said it, he summed it up. He said, DEI is human values. So what we're talking about in this discussion is providing more information. Information leads to power, and power leads to empowerment. What we're having this discussion for, I believe, is to help educate people about raising the awareness and allowing them to be more understanding and more embracing of what race really is. Race has been demonized. And quite frankly, I think we sometimes know where it comes from, but that's not the point. We're trying to buck against those headwinds and arm people with the tools and the kind of knowledge and information that allows them to embrace race as we would anything else, which is a part of the human spirit. We were put on this earth to be in relationship with one another and not to be in conflict with one another. So with that, I'll just leave it at that, and we'll get on with it.
Well, again, well said. We have a lot to talk about on Friday. We want you to be in the audience, talking with us, sharing your information with us. Again, I thank everybody for listening and watching today. In just 4 short days, on Friday, February 7th, or as they say in the UK, the 7th of February, in your respective time zone, 11 a.m. Eastern, we're going to talk about the real issues What's race got to do with it? And the beauty about the three of us, we are all independent business owners. So we're not working for a company. We don't have to follow the company line. We are all managing things on our own. And so you're going to have the truth shared with you and how we can navigate these ugly and choppy waters that we see ahead of us based on what's race got to do with it. Thank you all so much for watching and listening, and we'll see you back here on Friday, February 7th. The US-UK team says thank you so much for being a part of this important discussion. Take care. Bye-bye now.